Welcome to Screen Riot. This week's movie is The Holiday, a romance film from 2006. This episode will contain major spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's available to stream on Hulu and rent on all the major streaming services. Go check it out and come back to the podcast because this is Screen Riot.
Welcome to Screen Riot, the podcast where we review movies chosen entirely by fate. If you're having difficulties finding movies to watch, then this might be the podcast for you. I'm one of your hosts, Justin, and alongside me are co-hosts Eddie, Kyle, and John. And each week one of us spins the wheel of fate, and the host must pick any movie from that genre. If you'd like to see all the movies that we reviewed so far and how they've ranked, visit screenriot.net and have a look at the movie ratings page. At the end of each show, we'll spin to see what next week's movie is going to be so that you can follow along at home. Also, while you're at screenriot.net, make sure to head over to the support page to see all the different ways that you can help support the show. So like John said in the opening, that we're going to be taking a look at The Holiday from 2006. It's rated PG-13, has a runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes, and was written and directed by Nancy Meyers. Does anybody know Nancy Meyers?
I do not.
Not personally.
I did not. Well, okay.
Does she come to your house often?
That's what you get for asking John literal questions.
I
right
guess, yeah. Have you heard of Nancy Meyers?
No, I haven't.
Didn't she write and direct The Holiday?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's
I thought
it.
so.
That's
Yeah.
where I knew her from.
Being dicks.
I did not know of her. So basically, she's directed and written a bunch of these type of movies, right?
Okay.
So like 1998, she did The Parent Trap. 2000, What Women Want. 2003, Something's Gotta Give. 2009, It's Complicated.
Okay.
So kind of that same genre movie.
Slightly above Hallmark movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly what this movie is.
Yeah.
It's like a punch above
Yeah.
Hallmark.
Just a little bit. It's like they had a little bit more of a budget than Hallmark's, about $100,000 per movie that they shoot out every year.
It's a Hallmark script with A-list actors.
Yes. That's a perfect analogy.
But
yeah.
those were the movies that she's directed. She's also penned a couple of other out-of-genre movies, I would say.
Okay.
Right? So, Eddie, I think you've mentioned this before on the show, that you enjoy this movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Jumping Jack Flash.
I do like Jumping Jack Flash.
Yeah, so she wrote that.
But to be clear, Jumping Jack Flash is a guilty pleasure. It's not a good movie. I mean, it's Whoopi Goldberg trying to be a spy. Like,
Right.
It's not exactly great.
Right.
Although the soundtrack kicks ass. They definitely use some Genesis songs in it. So.
But she also wrote Father of the Bride,
Which is
Oh,
good.
which is a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, it was a remake, but yeah.
And Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which...
She should have stopped.
Part 2 wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It
just
could be
wasn't-
worse.
It wasn't as good as the first one.
Well, it's a little strange because, the child that is born of Steve Martin and Diane Keaton, you kind of are like, is that responsible, though? I mean,
Right?
It's not the most responsible choice, right? Like, you're almost 60, and you're having a kid. Okay.
Yeah, by the time they graduate, and you're just like almost 80.
Yeah.
Good job.
If you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stress working for that shoe company.
Yeah.
What happens whenever the kid's just an orphan because you guys died at 72? Is that
Like we
the most
working at the
responsible
shoe
thing?
factory.
He'll have shoes.
He'll have shoes, yeah. Then he's gonna end up, the youngest kid's gonna end up taking care of that kid because daughter's already got a baby. So now that kid's got to be a parent. It's just not responsible. What took place in that movie.
Well,
Although B.D. Wong is fucking hilarious in it.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
he's so funny in that movie. Anyway,
so obviously, I don't think I have to say that this wasn't in the Oscars, right?
Aw. Really?
So yeah, so
it did have an Oscar in it.
It did.
Oh yeah, it did because it was on the shelf of the Arthur,
Which Arthur kind of reminded me of Mel Brooks in a way.
kind of. Yeah.
Racist.
No,
God,
because
Kyle.
racist. How's that racist? He's an old white Jewish dude.
that was my point.
Like,
You're saying that they're all the same.
well, no, it's like he was in writing. He was a screenwriter. So
Yes.
was Mel Brooks. I mean, I'm
Oh,
listening
okay.
to his book, which is fantastic, by the way. All about me.
Yeah, definitely, listeners. If you're interested in movies and anything like that, the Mel Brooks autobiography that he just came out with is called All About Me.
It's definitely making me
Fantastic.
want to watch like every single one of his movies again.
Yeah.
So
Mel Brooks is pretty funny.
yeah, but he just reminded me of Mel Brooks just because he's getting to that age, knock on wood, And he had an Oscar, which he got an Oscar for the producers as best screenplay. And I was thinking, oh wow, I wonder if this actually kind of pairs along with Mel Brooks. I don't know. It's just strange.
Yeah, I was curious to know if this guy was like modeled after an actual screenwriter or something, but I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
Every screenwriter that's over 70. That's what it was modeled after.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably a conglomeration of a bunch of different screenwriters. I mean, because this guy came in through like Mel Brooks through, the early years of Tinseltown, as he called it. And he knows like everybody and knows everything about all the old movies and everything.
Yeah, he started the whole thing. And let's see, I thought immediately the actor looked like, you guys remember the movie The Monster Squad?
Barely.
Which is a guilty pleasure. Yeah, well, it's before your time.
Well, there's a lot of movies before my time, but I still know about them.
It's a guilty pleasure for me. It's the one where this group of kids, they have this monster club.
Yeah.
And monsters end up actually coming to their town, and they have to find this jewel and all that stuff in Van Helsing.
It was like 1988, right? Like it's an old movie.
88, 86, around in there, something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a character in there. I forget the character's actual name, but the kids all call him creepy German guy. And he reminded me of the creepy German guy.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he kind of looks like a witch, like a female witch in this movie.
He kind of reminded me like Spielberg in like 30 years.
Could be, yeah.
He kind of looked like him.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Well, so what did everybody think of the movie?
Okay, so
we're gonna go. Okay, we're going right straight to the end. I see.
Yep.
Well, because there's no
So here's the
awards.
budget.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I will say this: the Cameron. Okay, I'm gonna start out by bitching and then I'm gonna praise it. Okay, I'm gonna do a little backwards of what I normally try to do.
Okay.
I think there's too many storylines in the movie. I think they would have been more successful focusing on the Cameron Diaz Jude Law storyline and then save the Jack Black, Kate Winslet storyline with Arthur for later. The Jack Black storyline's barely fucking there anyway. And the Arthur Kate Winslet thing is good. Yeah. I like it. I want to see it in I want to see a whole nother movie based on that.
I was gonna say those were my favorite scenes, to be honest.
Yeah,
was her and Arthur and their stuff doing the whole filmmaker stuff around town that fascinated me. I would like to see a movie about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, but by sort of squeezing it in between, the majority of the movie is about Jude Law and Kate Winslet. That's the majority of the movie. It's like an hour and 20 minutes spent with them.
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. Yeah. It's spent with them, and then you have these like throwaways, not throwaway per se, but these like extra scenes that seem to be thrown in, where you're like, oh, by the way, there was that girl that we sent to LA. Let's check in and see what she's doing now. And it just breaks it up so much that I'm like, it's hard for me to enjoy. I would have rather just a whole 90-minute movie with Jude Law and Cameron Diaz, and then The Holiday 2 with Jack Black and Kate Winslet. By the way, when that shit was happening in England, here's what was in LA. I don't know. I just would have thought that it would have been a little better. It would have been quite so muddy.
Well, and it would have cut. It wouldn't have been a 2 hour and 16-minute film. It would have been an hour and a half film, like a comedy needs to be.
Yes. It feels long, and it feels long because they've got 3 stories going on. And there's no reason for 3 stories. And if you do want to make it to where it's like, nope, what was happening in England and what's happening in LA, fine. Cut the Arthur line. The Arthur line doesn't need to be there.
Right, yeah. It's kind of superfluous.
It's either cut the Arthur line or cut the Jack Black line. And to be honest, if I 100% have to make it, I'd cut the Jack Black line. I don't like that pairing.
Well, I watched this with my wife, and this was our first time seeing it. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking about it afterward, and she had the same thoughts you did. She's like, she's like, she goes, I'm disappointed that they didn't have more of the Kate Winslet, Jack Black. She's a big Jack Black fan anyway. Okay, I mean, she would, full disclosure, she would jump Jude Law in a heartbeat, but she would also jump Jack Black too.
And see, I would, I respect when people like Jack Black.
I thought you were going to say, I was going to jump on Jude Law as well. But.
Oh, well, so would I. But I respect Jack Black, but not in this movie. This is like his.
Well, I think he did good in the movie for what he was given to work with.
Fair enough. I don't like what they tried to make him into being. Like, this is like Shallow Hal. Like, I hate fucking Shallow Hal. It's one of the worst movies to me in the world. Fucking hate it. It's got a horrible message. It does not have a good message whatsoever. And that's my problem with it. That's my biggest problem with it. My second biggest problem is Jack Black's acting in it. Jack Black needs a beard. Let him have a beard. Anytime he doesn't have a beard or some kind of interesting facial hair or long hair, It's a shit movie with him.
So you don't like School of Rock?
No, School of Rock's good. He got long
Yeah,
hair.
it has long. I was about. Yeah, I was
doesn't
about
have
to
a
do
beard.
that, too.
No, but no beard, but long
Yeah.
hair.
Oh, okay.
He's got to be
Well,
either
He's got to
beard,
have one of the two.
one of the two,
He's got
or
kind of
both.
scruffy long hair in this one.
No, it's not long.
Long enough for
No,
you?
it's longer than Justin's. That's not saying much, though.
It is longer than Justin's.
Yeah, that's not saying much.
Justin doesn't have hair.
That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jack
but
Black wasn't
anyway,
This
involved in
is the Christmas season. Let's be nice.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, I mean, this is coming out on Christmas.
Is it the Christmas movie though?
Yes,
'Cause
it
it's
is.
not. No,
Oh my
it's closer to
God.
being a Hanukkah movie than a Christmas
It's a
movie.
Christmas movie.
and it's
Whatever.
barely a fucking Christmas movie. This movie
How
is
is it
called the
barely
Hear
a
me
Christmas
out.
movie?
It's called The Holiday. It could have been on any holiday. This could have been Easter. It could have been spring break. It could have been any holiday because it's
So when you go into a convenience store around Easter, do you hear rocking around the Christmas tree?
no,
playing?
but that also did not do anything in the movie. It's
do you,
not like
do
they
you
did
see like
anything
garland
with that.
around doorways during Easter?
But they didn't do anything with it. Is
Yeah,
my
but
point.
see, you could. Yeah, I mean, you could say that for any holiday movie, though.
No,
for any
I
Christmas
can't.
movie, like
No.
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas
You
Vacation.
pull that out, and he wants to
The
get
end.
everybody together for Turkey Day.
No, hold on. You want to get together for Thanksgiving? That's
Yeah.
fine. There won't be a Christmas tree that gets lit on fire. There won't be an
No,
ending scene
no, but
with
you can
Santa Claus on fire going.
But
you-
but
are
then
you-
it's the whole. Oh, thank God we invented insert the solution here. You come up with another creative thing. You can do it.
I'm just saying it's barely
It would be hard to do like the Santa Claus without
or a Christmas Story or any of the good Christmas movies. I just think this is barely a Christmas story. I think it definitely happens during Christmas, but I think Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than this is because Die Hard there's whole scenes that involve like whole at least pictures that involve Christmassy things that actually progress the movie. Like for instance, the elevator scene whenever he kills Hans's brother. He sends him down in the elevator, and what's written on his sweater?
Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho, and now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho, right? Like it
Merry
drives
Christmas, asshole.
it. Yeah, exactly. Like there's whole
So-
definite things. He
so it
strangles
seems-
him with fucking lights. Like it happens.
So he wants like more hardcore.
It's got to be Christmas.
this is Christmas. God damn it! That's
yes, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
even in the script, Jack Black and I think all of them say, "Oh, what are you doing Christmas Eve?" or "What are you doing Christmas?"
Yes,
or "What are you
I
doing
know.
this?"
And then they
during
get
Christmas.
together over
It's-
New Year's.
I think Eddie wants his Christmas movies to be on Christmas.
he wants to get beat over the
Yeah.
head with a candy cane.
I want.
I
That's
mean,
it.
it was on Christmas.
I just want more allusions to Christmas. Like to me, if you take out the 5 minutes of mentioning Christmas that are in this movie,
5 minutes of
it
mentioning
doesn't change anything.
Well, no,
That's my point.
I will have to agree with you in some respect on that because neither one of the houses have a Christmas tree
No.
set up.
Oh, I thought one of
neither
them
one
did.
of the
Nope.
At the very end, it was
the
well,
end,
it
there
was
is.
That must be what
it
I'm
was
thinking.
Jude Law's house.
Yes. At the
And
end,
it was decorated for Christmas just
That's
because
right.
he has little
Yeah,
girls.
little
And what's
kids.
funny
he was
is-
the only one that had kids.
he's the only one who had kids, and he is apparently the only one who actually cared about Christmas.
this day
Go
and
ahead,
age,
John.
this day and age, you can't even say if you don't have kids because my mom doesn't have any kids in the house and she's got like 10 Christmas trees.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean, we have our house decorated, and we've got the lights on it and everything.
Yeah.
We have a tree.
I just would like for it to be called a Christmas movie, for it to fall under the category of Christmas. I think they went light.
You also
got to
think too is these two women did not even want to be around their same area during Christmas, so why even decorate?
I mean, I hear you on that. I do, which is where I think Arthur
But that was
ahead.
that was a spur of the moment
decision.
thing. That was
Yeah.
a spur of the moment decision, and we're talking. What were they going to be there 9
Like
days or
2
whatever?
weeks or something
It
like
was
that.
2 weeks. So I mean, you would think it was 2 weeks.
Before Christmas,
Before
let's
Christmas,
say. So.
Yeah, but you have a very busy writer for the Telegraph, and then you have a very busy movie trailer person that
I'm very busy, and my house is decorated.
well, and then Cameron Diaz's character, she could have hired, her
exactly.
Well, she owned the
helpers
company. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's not like she's sitting there cutting the trailers.
Which,
She-
by the way,
she has Jim from The Office.
I was
doing
gonna
it.
say I did like the quick Jim from the Office. Like it's Jim from the Office. Even my son recognized it. My son was like, "It's Jim from the Office." He's seen 2 episodes of The Office. And he was like, "That's Jim from the Office." And I was like, "Yes, it is."
Well, he's a central character in the Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like trying to figure out who everybody else is. He's like, "I know this guy from something," and I was like, "He was in that movie Contagion. I'll let you watch." No, I'm just kidding.
wow.
but speaking,
More of a holiday movie.
Yeah.
There is ice angels in that one at least.
Oh my
Snow
God.
angels. There are snow angels. Yep.
But speaking of her Cameron Diaz's business, I did like her daydreams.
And now
the
she's
fourth
doing
wall
this.
breaking.
The
kind
fourth
of
wall
stuff?
breaking,
Yeah.
where it's like, and now she's in a bathtub.
She's
or
like,
whatever.
shut up.
No, and
That
and
was
I thought it was
interesting,
pretty
yeah.
good.
it was good. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they had just stuck with Cameron Diaz and Jude Law, it wouldn't have been a bad movie. Like, it would have been totally palatable. It would have been kind of funny and like better than that Ryan Reynolds Sandra Bullock abortion that took place a few years ago, where he's
The
her
Proposal?
boss. Yeah. Oh my God, it was an
I
awful
don't
movie.
even know what movie you're talking
It
about.
was horrible.
Yeah, it's The Proposal.
It's an hour and a half of
Green
Ryan
Hornet.
Reynolds. I'm sorry.
Green
Green
Hornet.
Hornet.
That's not Green Hornet. Green Lantern.
Green
Lantern.
Lantern.
It's an hour and a half of Ryan Reynolds trying to pretend that he likes Sandra Bullock, and he can't pull it off. Like he cannot. Like
I don't think anybody could pull it off.
But did you
don't like
believe
Sandra?
for a second that he liked her at all in the whole movie?
I mean,
in The Proposal,
maybe for 30 seconds.
maybe
That's about it.
that's a stretch. But yeah, it's bad.
And it was the
It's
last
bad.
30 seconds.
Yeah, this would have been better than The Proposal by far. I mean, it probably still is.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the 3 overly done storylines,
This
it probably
is
still is.
this is definitely way better than The Proposal.
Let's talk about that in the holiday. Do you guys buy the relationships in this
I
one?
buy Candace. What's her name?
Cameron Diaz?
Cameron Diaz. I buy Cameron Diaz, Jude Law. I buy that.
Hmm.
Kate Winslet, Jack Black. I don't.
I'm with you.
There wasn't
Yeah.
enough. There wasn't enough content to flesh that out.
There wasn't enough
Right.
contact. Like they
Yeah.
barely talked
Well,
to each other.
and going back to that really quick.
Yeah.
That was one of my wife's suggestions. She was like, maybe it's because they needed that definite lead
Yeah.
male and lead female, so they just like, okay, you have to be the supporting actor and actress. It could have very easily been flipped the other way.
Well, and I think the biggest problem with the Jack Black Kate Winslet pairing is that there's no real reason for them to be together, right? Like with Cameron Diaz and Jude Law, she's kind of unhappy in her own life, and she sees Jude Law, and she's like, okay, I can bang this dude. And then next thing you know, right, like she's just like, I'm just here for ass. Like I'm just here to get the D, and then I'm out.
Yep.
And then she meets the daughters, and she's like, oh my God, he's like a dad and like
Then she
a
actually
real
falls in love
person,
with
and
him.
oh my
Yeah.
God, he's like the sweetest guy, and then falls in love. With Kate Winslet and Jack Black, why? What's the how are we
It
supposed
seemed
to believe?
very rushed.
Yeah,
He's
how are we
the-
supposed to believe they fell together?
He's the funny guy, and she didn't really fall for him too hard just because she knew that he was still trying to find love with the supermodel
yes.
and trying to keep that alive. So she didn't actually want to interfere because she understands what that feels like on the other end.
Which shortens the amount of time that we get to see them together
Well, yeah.
as well. I mean,
It-
to such
this-
a point that you're like, is she settling?
The Jack Black and Kate Winslet
Winslet.
relationship is more of a
Friend.
like a long drawn out start of a relationship.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz is Jude Law. It's just they're just having sex
whirlwind.
all like a lust relationship at first.
Yeah. Which makes it hard to buy the Kate Winslet, because at the end,
yeah,
we're
I
led
totally
to
agree
believe
with
that
that.
these are like almost like happily ever after relationships. And I Jack Black to me seems like a rebound. Like he's like 4 seconds away from being friend zoned. It just does. I don't buy the relationship. It's just not there.
yeah.
If
I wouldn't-
Arthur, if she
yeah.
had told me she wants to fall in love with Arthur, I
would've
might have
believed
believed.
that
I
more.
might have believed
Yeah.
it more than Jack Black. Like she's
Get
like,
a
oh
little
my
sugar
God,
daddy or
he's
something?
like
Yeah.
the sweetest old man in the world, and I don't really care about looks that much because I read a lot, and I'm kind of homely. I like more texture and stuff in people. Arthur seems like a nice dude
Kate
speaking
Winslet is
of-
homely. That's hilarious.
compared to Cameron Diaz in this movie. She's supposed to be.
Well, Judy
Yeah.
Judy says she's a different kind of pretty.
She is. I think Kate Winslet's beautiful, but
A lot
in this
prettier
movie,
than Cameron Diaz.
I think so too. But in this movie,
Yeah.
that's not what you're supposed to believe. You're supposed to believe that Cameron Diaz is a 10 and
Right.
Kate Winslet's like a solid 7.
The hot
Yeah.
LA chick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of Arthur, I'm sitting there this whole when they introduce the character, and I mean we're really liking him. We're getting
Mm-hmm.
the story. I'm like, if this guy dies at the end, I am gonna
Oh, I know,
I'm gonna
right?
cry. I'm gonna cry so bad.
See, and I almost would have accepted that better. Like had he just keeled over, I'm like, okay, super sad. Jack Black can swoop in.
Exactly.
We get an extra 10 minutes of screen time with Jack Black and Kate Winslet
Consoling her
and we see their relationship develop. Arthur's out of the picture now, so no more love life
Love
there.
luster.
Like that's gone. And now, okay, credits again. You know what I mean? But it's just
And
too much.
Arthur put her in the will.
Oh, and she gets a house now in
Yep.
LA, so she can
Yep.
live in
Yep.
live in London for part of
See,
the year, and
this
then
is- I think we should actually change this to, instead of like Screen Riot, and like Screen Rewrite.
Screen Rewrite.
Ooh, I like it.
Rewrite it.
Rewrite it. Screen Rewrite it.
We should.
We're getting close. We're getting close to a name
That's
change.
an idea for a new podcast. We just
Screen
we
rewrite?
write we write a screenplay while just on the podcast.
Jesus.
We kind of flip things around and make it a little bit better.
It
It seems like that's what we do.
in some of the movies you guys pick, it wouldn't be harder. Notice I said you guys.
It wouldn't be harder?
It wouldn't be that hard. Is what I
Oh,
mean.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate the movie overall, but it definitely is not something like it's not going on my Christmas
Right.
rotation by any
Right.
means.
I laughed. I did laugh though because it is supposed to be a comedy too.
Yes.
I laughed during Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet's
Typing back and forth.
online chat.
Yeah.
When they got to the like, dude, is there any men in your town? And then she's like 0. I'm like, well, this movie just took a drastic turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah, guess what? It's actually a women-driven society. Welcome to the
Exactly,
matriarchy.
right?
I'm going to jump a little bit here because it's one of the biggest reasons that I don't think I can put it in is this memory that I now have of this movie. At the end, towards the end, whenever Jude Law and Cameron Diaz are saying their goodbyes and she's planning to leave London or England, I should say. My son's like, why is he upset? Why is he crying? And my daughter, before anybody else could answer, my daughter jumps in and she's like, well, he's sad because he doesn't really know what his family is going to look like now. He likes her and he kind of wanted her to be a part of, his family. So he's sad. It'd be kind of like, you know what it'd be like? It'd be like if he was going to join the Navy and leave his wife and children behind. Like, what would their family look like? I was like, oh, God. Like, the amount of shade that my daughter just threw.
Yeah, major burn.
At 7, I was like, oof, God. And my wife's laughing her butt off.
Well, tell our listeners why that's important.
So I've been talking to the Navy about possibly joining at 40 years old. I've been talking about joining as an officer, and they're interested, and I'm looking at it. We'll see. But what's funny is that, I mean, she just like professional level shade. Just
That was good.
I'm 17. I'm gonna slice your throat. Like that's the level that she threw that shade. Yeah, it was bad.
Good job. Good job.
I was like, Daddy loves you. Like, never mind.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Navy
speaking
paperwork hits the trash.
Oh God, it was rough. Yeah.
well, speaking about the kids were very cute in this movie.
Oh, the kids
Oh
are
my
adorable.
gosh.
Yeah.
And I really like all those scenes with the kids and Cameron Diaz and Jude Law.
Again,
Yeah.
10 more minutes of those scenes I could have dealt with.
God,
cut out.
the scene where she's like walking in and she's taking off her coat and she's like,
Daddy, get your
no,
coat.
no. Cameron Diaz is like, are you married? Answer quick.
Yeah,
Like,
that was cute too.
it's
But-
like, are you divorced? And they spelled out widowed, and I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
bad.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
I didn't see that coming.
No,
The
no.
kids.
the kids, the
Or the
widower,
widower.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the kids, the widower, all that stuff, and then I mean, slow clap for Jude Law when he was going through his life. He's like, I'm this person. I got to box this up and all that. I'm like, dude, I really feel for you. That
Yeah.
hit me in the feels.
Jude Law is he can be a good actor. Like, there's some crappy movies he's done. I'm not a real fan of Alfie. I'm not a real fan of Repo Men and stuff like that. But overall,
Yeah.
he's not a bad actor. But
He's a
then-
good rom-com actor.
well,
I think.
he was pretty good in Contagion. He was pretty good in.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But I
what
think
was
he
that?
shines with his soft side on rom-coms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gattaca was actually pretty. I thought he was pretty good in Gattaca
Yeah.
too.
It was pretty funny. I asked my wife about what's the actor's name at the beginning? Rufus.
Oh,
Rufus
Sewell?
Sewell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rufus Sewell. I was like, what about him? And she's like, I can take him or leave him. And I'm like,
he's
I'm like, what do you think about the eye and all that? Because I mean, that's the thing, And she's like, it doesn't bother me. I mean, he's still cute, but Jude Law.
Rufus is a really good bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think he's been typecasted as like this dude is bad.
Well, he was great in Man in High Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man in the
Yeah.
High Castle. Yeah,
Well,
fantastic. in
Yeah, I
that.
thought he was awesome.
And a movie that's another slightly guilty pleasure because it's a bad movie. Let's be clear. A Knight's Tale.
Yes.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he was the dick in A Knight's Tale. But what's funny is the girl that
She was the queen, the princess.
the girl that God, what's his name? The British actor or Australian actor who killed him. Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
Heath
Heath
Ledger
Ledger, yeah.
ends up trying to sleep with the whole time.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, that. And I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, okay, that is her. Now my wife, she did not get that Jack Black and her were together.
Oh,
at first, like after the whole, whenever they drove up in the car, and they're talking to Kate Winslet and everything, and they get back in the car and they leave, and she's like, he doesn't have a girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, he does. It's the chick that was in the car there.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, he even introduces her as my something.
Well, that's what she said. She
My
goes,
Maggie.
because, what do you mean,
My
my girlfriend? Yeah, I mean, she was like, no, they're not. He's not dating anybody. I'm like, did you not see it at the beginning? She goes, no, I saw it at the beginning, but it just wasn't. It wasn't clear to me.
Oh.
It would have been pretty hilarious if Rufus and the Maggie chick would have gotten together, just because of Knight's Tale.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Talking about
They're
Jude,
also at the Christmas party dancing around.
talking about Jude Law real fast. By the way, Talented Mr. Ripley, Enemy at the Gates,
Oh yeah, Enemy of the Gates is good.
Road to Perdition.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I Heart Huckabees, which I'm sorry is a funny. I think that movie's funny as shit. The Aviator, he plays Errol Flynn.
Road to
Yeah.
Perdition.
Yeah,
Who did he play in Road to Perdition?
He was
Maguire.
Maguire.
Maguire. Yeah.
Sequel to MacGyver.
Sherlock Holmes. He's Watson, right?
Yep,
In the De Niro Sherlock Holmes, Contagion. He's got some though. Like, he's got some decent ones, and then he's got like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Like, just not a good movie, right? Fantastic Beasts. I mean, he was okay. He was the young Dumbledore.
Yeah, he was Dumbledore.
He was Jan Rog in the Captain Marvel.
So obviously
movie.
he has a good career, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying he really does shine with like the rom-com stuff.
And what's funny is he's only been in like 3.
I
He
know,
hasn't been
but
in
that's
much.
where I think he needs to be.
Well, I think you find him attractive, and that's why. I mean, it's
Well, no,
Well, he is a
it's-
good-looking
It's a
dude, yeah.
good-looking dude.
Yeah, in
and-
all respect. Like,
and
I'm
he
not
gets
trying to be a dick,
gets
yeah.
the good-looking gals, and just because of his soft side,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
I
that
can
kind
see
of
that.
character. He's not the dick in the. He's not Rufus.
He's not Rufus. I agree
You
with
know.
you. Well, Rufus with that squinty eye thing, it's hard for. I think in all seriousness, I think as humans, right? Whenever somebody has like, especially an eye thing, we can't get past that. Like physically, like, or not physically, psychologically, we can't get past it. We're just like, no, he's shifty. Like, there's it's squinty eye thing. Hey, he's a shifty dude.
Well, it's always like he's planning something. He's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust him. Like, no, I really love you, and I've come for the. No, don't trust him, Kate. Don't trust
Right.
him. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's like buying her rings and islands and shit. No, don't trust him. There's something there.
Yeah, that was even a weird scene where he came to her house,
In
LA.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
He wanted a wife and a mistress. That's
Yeah.
what he wanted, and he wanted to use Kate for her brain.
Yeah, just because she was an editor,
Exactly.
So he
What a
just
jerk.
wanted to have her, edit his book, and then he makes billions, and she's just the side chick.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's awful. He's awful in this movie. I don't know, but that's the thing too is if we talk about the movie, 80% of what we talk about is Jude Law and Cameron Diaz.
Oh, absolutely.
It just
I
Well,
do like
They do take up most of the screen time.
most of the screen time. I know that's my. I don't know.
I
just
do
go
like
back
the
to, I
comedy
wish they had
though.
dripped it.
The comedy aspect of this movie is definitely Jack Black and Kate Winslet.
See, I don't agree. I think the comedy was with Cameron Diaz by herself, like her trying to figure out whether or not to bang Jude Law again, and then the voiceover things with in a world where she oversleeps, all that shit.
I don't know. I kind of like the blockbuster scene.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Eddie about the blockbuster scene.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
The Gone with the Wind.
Really, the Gone with the Wind thing? I immediately went, ha 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 ha. That's Eddie.
Yeah.
right there.
I did think of you too at that.
I don't know.
It's like Eddie's flipping around in his non-grave.
Well, speaking of that
I'll
scene,
be there soon. Don't worry.
Dustin Hoffman appears in that.
Yeah.
Just because Jack Black picks up The Graduate, right?
I
And
laughed out loud at that because that was unexpected.
well, he was actually just walking by, and he saw all the cameras set up, and he was
decided to
like,
jump into the
"Oh,
movie."
well, let me just go into the blockbuster here and see what's going on." And then the director was like, "Well, my God, it's Dustin Hoffman."
Well, they're friends.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Hey, you want to just be an extra in this?" And
Yeah, they hashed out a quick little cameo for him.
That's
which
pretty
is
funny.
pretty funny. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I wonder if that. So I mean, that must have been.
It was just
must
by
have been his
chance.
like street clothes and.
Yeah, that's why he's
all
like
that
just
stuff.
in a
That's
beat
great.
up like Grace.
He was just out on the town.
Yeah.
What does he say? He's like, can't can't get away from it, or
Did he
something.
did he say something?
He
I
said
don't-
something, yeah,
yeah.
but I totally forgot what he said.
Oh, I didn't hear him say anything. I thought he just looked at him.
Or maybe
weird.
he just shook his head.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he said something.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, here it is. Miles, Jack Black's character, says, where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? I bet you didn't know it was all written for the movie, so it was a score technically. And Dustin Hoffman says, I can't believe this. I can't go anywhere.
Oh, okay, that's right. Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, I laughed out loud at that moment.
I did
'cause,
too.
I did not expect Dustin Hoffman to be there.
I actually rewound it. I was like, I gotta see that little clip again.
Yeah.
Right to the Gone with the Wind. It just
I don't know. It's I don't know. I think the movie overall it's good-ish. I mean, okay. If I was trying to impress a girl that I was dating, I might sit through it, right? But just as an
It's
enjoyable
funny. I had the same thought when I was watching this.
Yeah, but like as an enjoyable, like I want to sit down and watch a movie, it's not there. Like it just doesn't, it's not going to pull it for me. I'll be honest, if it was just, again, I'm not trying to drill into the ground, but if it was just the Cameron Diaz, Jude Law thing, I think I might.
Yeah,
But
it
the
was a
addition
bit
of those
long.
extra lines or those extra storylines makes me go, I wouldn't. I would, if I did, I would fast forward through Kate Winslet and Jack Black. Like everything with them, I would just hit fast forward.
Yeah,
and
you
get
would
to
just
the
have to
movie.
rewrite just a little bit, just because of I like the conversation piece between Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet when they're on the kind of like a three-way phone call / hold, conversation of, oh, I can't believe you had sex with my brother, or
That was a
with,
funny
scene,
scene.
or
Yes.
with this guest or something. She's like, oh my god, he told you that?
Yeah.
She's just like, oh shit, I
Yeah.
didn't really mean to say that.
Still me.
Yeah, still me.
Over and over. That was cute. Yeah.
I
mean,
like
it's-
that piece, but that would actually just have to be tossed completely. But I think you have enough time to cut this down and cut all of the Kate Winslet piece out of it.
Well, I
And-
don't think you cut her completely out of the movie because you have to have a way for Cameron Diaz to get to England, and you have to have the
Well, not the 100%. Like I would say, when Kate Winslet is in LA,
yeah.
I think you could actually cut that completely out, and have enough time to actually still have this around an hour 30.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Because
you
it's 2 hours and 16 minutes.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, and to get Cameron Diaz into over into Surrey or
Yeah.
wherever she's at. I mean, you do what she did.
Just
You just go, okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go. Okay, wow, there's this little cottage. Great.
and
Yeah, you
the
just
whole
make it an
instant message
Airbnb.
thing.
It's an Airbnb type situation.
Okay.
The instant message thing is already captured.
Yeah.
Like I would be curious just to see if I could cut this and completely take it out and actually make it seem like a legit movie.
I think the
You
only
would have to kind of shoot some extra stuff, I think, here and there to fill some gaps of who's who and what's going on.
I mean, I think if you cut all of the LA stuff with Kate Winslet and all that stuff out, I think then you're just kind of left with just your average Hallmark movie.
Yes, that's what would be left.
It's kind of a Hallmark movie because here's the thing. I was letting my kids watch it thinking it was because it seemed like a Hallmark movie. And then Jude Law and Cameron Diaz say the word sex fucking 300 times. And I'm like, yes, we get it. You had sex. What's sex, Daddy? Oh, shut up. Just nothing. Don't. Let's not go down that line. Okay. Just, yeah. Well, I mean, if we had sex and then slept together twice, I thought that was the same thing, Daddy. Shut up, guys. Let's not have this conversation.
You know, when a woman and Jude Law get together,
It's just inevitable.
That is pretty much how it goes. I don't know. This sounds ridiculous. This is going to sound ridiculous, and it's a little crass, but it's fine. If this was a porn, the addition of the extra story, the addition of the extra storylines would throw it. Like it would just be, you'd be like, what happened to the? Why? Why are we jumping from one group to the next? I don't understand why we're jumping around from too many things.
do you actually watch the
There's
storylines?
storylines in porn.
There is. I thought about this though because Jude Law and Cameron Diaz, so much of the relationship, 30 minutes of the relationship was just based on them banging. Like there was no extra things that took place. And the one time that we almost saw them have like not banging conversation when she meets him in the bar unexpectedly, like we could have had lines there. We don't. We skip right next to the next morning, and she's like, did we sleep together again? He's like, no, we just slept together. There was no sex. And she's like, okay, I thought that I maybe had sex with you again. I'm like, fuck, stop saying sex like every 4 seconds. Like this is a pizza man away from being something I recognize. Stop. Like,
if this was porn in the 2020s, they would have been like step siblings.
oh God,
dear
Oh,
God.
right. It'd be Kate Winslet and Jude Law getting together.
Oh,
Yeah.
please no. God.
There would have to
No,
be
step siblings.
there would have to be
let's-
forms being filled out though.
Let's stop there. Go ahead, John. What did you have that wasn't revolved around the stepsister storyline? Thanks, Justin. Jesus.
No, what I was gonna say was there's spots in the film like the bar
Yes.
that could have been extended,
Yes.
and that would fill
30
in
minute,
the gaps for if you edit out the whole Kate Winslet piece.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and it would have allowed us to see them, because we do eventually see them, like, interact without sex being a crux. But there's
Like they go to dinner.
yeah, eventually we get there.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
Well,
that would have been a good transition between.
we really get to know Jude Law deeper. We really don't get to know Cameron Diaz deeper.
Not
I
really.
mean, yeah, she has an arc which is the complete opposite of Kate Winslet, where at the beginning Kate's demure and I'm sad and I'm a crier, and at the beginning of
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz is like I can't cry, this side or the other, and then they completely flip right.
Yeah.
At the end of the film, but that's about it. You don't get to really know them any deeper than that.
No, I agree. They're very shallow. They're very shallow dynamic characters. Like, for being dynamic characters, they're pretty thin. I am really glad though that Kate Winslet had the arc she had, because I was annoyed to shit with her at the beginning. The whining, the constant just 3 years. I'm like, oh my God, just Rufus Sewell just kills her, right? Like that's what happens in this movie. Like Cameron Diaz moves over, she gets murdered in LA. That's what happens. Like I was tired of the whining. So I was glad to see
That would
her.
have been a different kind of movie.
Right?
Rufus shows up at the door, and then he's actually going to kidnap her.
It would have been interesting.
Jesus.
But I will say too, a weird part with Kate Winslet that I think they could have used to give us more of an idea of who she is as a character was when she kept going to sleep for large periods of the day in LA. Like like Cameron Diaz had those sunshades, which is cool, great, but she was like sleeping through large periods of the day. Meanwhile, Cameron Diaz is like, I can't sleep, so I'm going to just go through. And I get that it's jet lag. I understand.
Right. Well, and your time difference is totally screwed up.
I totally get it, but we never see that happen with Cameron Diaz.
Right.
She doesn't like sleep through large periods of the day. She's having relationship things with Jude Law. She's having like, I'm trying to figure out myself and who I am and all that. So
And I
she's
think
more interesting as a character.
Yeah, I think that might be just because she is a trailer editor type thing, and
Well,
so
one-
she's constantly up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
One, it's two different sides of depression.
Okay.
You've got Kate Winslet, who's depressed and she just wants to disconnect and just not think about it.
Yeah.
Where you got Cameron Diaz, is she's a fixer,
Yes.
so she's trying to fix it, but she has no emotions to weigh her down.
I get it. I just think you end up with Kate Winslet's character because she's sleeping. That's a very boring thing to watch, so they cut away from her.
Right.
And I'm like, cool. So now we don't see any growth on that storyline. We're going to see a lot of growth on this other storyline. Again, lending to, I don't know. I'm not trying to drill into the ground. I just feel like they made, I feel like it was a throw, like an extra thing they got thrown in. Like somebody was like, oh, it's Jude Law and Cameron Diaz. We need somebody with more star power. And it's like, really? Then those two? Yeah, get me Kate Winslet. I loved her in Titanic. that's all I can think.
I loved her in Quills.
Not that kind of movie.
It was the movie Quills, Jeffrey Rush? No, not Jeffrey Rush. That's all I remember is Jeffrey Rush.
Well, you know who composed this movie?
Yeah,
Jeffrey
it was
Rush?
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Which
Really?
it doesn't sound like a Hans
Well-
Zimmer score of late.
Well, yes, because it's pre-Inception.
Yeah.
He was still awake.
The movie would have been very different, though, if it was Inception.
I
It
know.
would have.
It would have been the Rufus Sewell kills her in L.A.
Yes,
movie. That
exactly.
would have been kind of
But
interesting.
the only thing that I'm kind of disappointed though with the soundtrack is it has like one song. It
Yeah,
has one
yeah, it
song
gets played over and over.
that's cut up into multiple pieces that's spread out throughout the movie.
Kind of
Wondering
like
if
that.
was gonna
Kind of like that in Gone with the Wind.
Yep.
They play the same motif for certain things. So you have a piece of the song that's made for the sad parts, and then you have a piece of the songs that's for the happy parts, and we're like, yay, we're moving someplace. But that's pretty much it.
Much of the movie felt phoned in. That's all I could say. Like the script feels phoned. It feels formulaic. More than that, it's formulaic. The script feels very formulaic, even though it's broken up into like 3 different storylines. It's 3 movies that they threw together that all feel like we've seen them before, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about it that feels new. And then the music feels formulaic. The whole
It's a rom-com.
You can only go so far with
but there's
rom-coms.
rom-coms that are not like that. Mallrats doesn't feel formulaic. Mallrats is a rom-com. What's another one that comes to mind? That's a
Total Recall? No.
even not 10 Things I Hate About You, although that kind of doesn't. The How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, right? Kate Hudson, Matthew McConaughey. That shit's not formulaic.
No.
It's not a great movie, but it's definitely not formulaic. And that's a rom-com. I mean, there's plenty of rom-coms that don't feel like, well, we've seen this.
You know, one that I was
John
very
Hughes ones?
what I was surprised, a rom-com I was surprised about was Warm Bodies.
Yeah, Warm Bodies is great.
That was like, that's totally not formulaic.
Yeah, and then they capitalized on the whole zombie craze at the time.
They sure did.
Yeah, and what's his name from Ballers? The bald guy. Not The Rock, the buddy. What's his actual name, though?
Shoot.
I can't remember his name.
I can't think of his name, but
he's
him.
in Warm Bodies, though. And he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing?
I haven't seen Warm Bodies, no.
Dude, it's pretty funny. It's a funny movie.
Going back to the Hans Zimmer thing, at the very beginning, we see that Jack Black is a composer.
Yes.
Yeah, and we see him in his studio and all. I'm like, why does that look familiar? And the visual of it. And then I did the whole Leonardo DiCaprio, like, pointing at the screen meme. You know, I was like, oh, that's Hans Zimmer's setup.
Oh, really?
And the only reason I know that is because I've seen a lot of footage of Zimmer like working and all, and I was like, that's exactly how it's set up. So I did a little digging. That's not actually Hans Zimmer's, but it's like replicated to be Hans Zimmer's.
I was gonna say, man, if they actually use that to as a shooting location, I'd be like, damn, that's
that would
cool.
that would be pretty cool. But no, they just replicated it.
Interesting.
So he's using.
They
like
replicated a lot of stuff in this, like the house of Cameron Diaz. It was not actually filmed inside of a real house in L.A.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
it was totally built on a soundstage.
Jeez.
Cost $1 million.
Yeah, the whole interior, and then Kate Winslet's house in Surrey is not real at all.
Well, I'm glad because that roof needed to be repaired.
Well, it's a thatch roof.
Well, the one in L.A. was Phyllis Diller's house. It was a real house. The cottage in that was the one that was filmed all in.
That's what I meant. Yeah. The exteriors are all fake.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not trying to go back to Warm
now
Bodies.
I'm sad.
I know it's a nice little cottage. I love that cottage.
I'm not trying to go back to Warm Bodies real hard here, but since John brought it up, it is of note here. John Malkovich is in that as well, and Rob Corddry is who I was trying to bring up.
Yeah.
And
is it a Christmas movie?
It as much as The Holiday is, and then Dave Franco is in it as well. Which just seems weird that Dave Franco, James Franco's little brother, is in it. It's
isn't
weird,
James
man.
Franco in the fake trailer?
Yeah.
For James Franco and Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
In what?
In the
In
fake
the
In
trailer?
this movie, on the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yes,
technically in this movie.
That comes out on
I forgot about
what
that.
day?
There's one shot when he looks at the camera.
Christmas Eve. Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas Day, whatever.
Yeah. Just like how this podcast is, if you're listening to this, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Is it? Yeah, it does. It does come out on it.
Merry holiday.
Merry
happy Christmas. That's what they say.
Merry holiday.
Merry
Yeah.
New Year.
Merry
good.
holiday. Just
I was trying to reverse it because, like they do in this movie, they say Happy Christmas,
gotcha.
and I was like, "Why is that a British thing?"
It's
And
a
we say
British
Happy
thing.
Holidays over here.
Yeah, but we say Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, Happy
Merry
Christmas,
holiday.
Happy Xmas, Happy Hanukkah.
all those.
Kiss his
Justin,
ass, kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.
This did win a couple awards there, Justin.
Oh,
But no Oscars.
Not
BAFTA?
Oscars.
Yeah,
No, it won
I typically only talk about Oscars.
International Film Critics Award for Best Original Score for a Comedy film.
Original score.
Hans Zimmer wrote it. He
I
wrote
know,
it.
but
Listen, he
it's
wrote it in
literally
the
one
bathroom.
song.
He wrote it in the bathroom, but he wrote it nonetheless.
And the Teen Choice Awards
Nice.
under
bringing
the
up
chick
that?
flick category.
Oh yeah. What about like Bob's Awards?
It was nominated for.
Win that too.
It was nominated at the Teen Choice Awards for the best hissy fit
Oh Jesus.
Hissy fit.
Is that a category?
for Cameron Diaz. Yes.
Could you imagine the Oscars having a Best Hissy Fit
Oh,
category?
Honestly, the way the Oscars look now, yes. I could.
It'd be whoever's on stage.
I did like, and I didn't see it coming, which kind of it threw me out of the film a little bit. But I was like, good job. That was good when she's in the tub and she starts freaking out. Cameron Diaz, and
that
she
little smash cut.
That smash cut where she splashes the tub water and it cuts to in natural transitions to a car hitting water.
Yeah.
A car tire hitting water.
Yeah, they do
I'm
a
like,
lot of natural
I like
transitions,
that.
but
Yeah.
especially with the automatic blinds thing. They do it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I just really love that one.
Well, because they paid to have them put in. They were like, the shit's expensive. We got to
Yeah.
use these all the time, guys. It's going to be a whole plot point, in
This
fact.
house cost $1 million. Let's use it.
Jesus.
So with that, we all know that the house cost $1 million. But with that, the budget for this
$40 million.
$85 million.
Whoa.
Definitely a lot
I
higher
believe
than.
it. I mean, just in cars, they had to rent the Audi, they had to rent a
Mini.
Land Rover, they had to rent a Mini,
Yeah.
they had to.
Yeah, a lot of shooting
Hallmark.
locations in Surrey, England.
Hallmark's laughing their asses off, going, "We do this shit for $100,000. What are
Yeah.
you guys doing?"
Yeah, same quality and everything.
Jesus.
I don't know what kind of production agency you guys are using.
Oh God.
But
That's so bad.
did this make its money back?
It probably did because
Yes.
people are stupid.
I think it probably
Oh.
did.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Man.
well, except
It-
for people listening to this show.
You have people who will go see a movie just because Jude Law's in
I
it.
do like banging Jude Law.
You know,
Wow.
In my mind.
Okay, I was gonna say you got
Wow.
proof of this. You're holding
the
out?
same thing with Cameron Diaz, the same thing with the other two.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's made its money back. I think it's doubled at least.
I don't
Okay,
think double, but I do think it made its money back.
So it's made gross worldwide $205.8 million.
Never mind,
Wow.
John. You were
Wow.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit over double.
They love this in Sweden. It's the perfect amount of just
What?
What was
just
that?
boring, bland neutrality. Just oh, it's very good. Did you see it? Yes, the snow was very white. Just not a
Very mediocre.
very mediocre. I liked it. It was neutral.
At least the snow was real.
That's true. They didn't have to pay for snow. Swans. They're gonna pay for swans.
Swans.
It's in the father of the bride.
Yeah.
And he's outside defrosting the flowers because of the snow.
I thought they were gonna do something with the LA weather,
Yeah.
the wind and all that stuff. I'm like, they keep showing it. They brought it up twice.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Where it's
in
really windy.
dialogue, and then they're showing the wind blowing outside the windows of Cameron Diaz's house. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, there must be something's gonna happen with this.
She got something stuck in her eye, and Jack Black helped her, and that started everything.
Well, that was wind
They had-
number
they
one.
had
What
the-
about wind number 2 and wind number 3?
I will say this.
They
when
had the moment, the actual moment of eye contact. They're like, "Oh wow,
the least
you're a really nice guy."
Literal eye
least-
contact.
Yeah.
the least believable part in any movie I've seen in a long time.
Would you like me to get it?
It was
Oh yeah.
With
I
a-
don't
with
want
a-
anybody touching my eyes.
not just that, with somebody you just met
Yeah.
who randomly pulls up into fuck no. There's no way that takes place.
It's
That takes place.
early 2000s. It's there's a lot that's changed.
That's boys
Anyway.
and boys and girls is more believable than this than this. Freddie Prince.
There
is
you
more,
go.
Freddie Prince, Claire Forlani is more believable than Jack Black managing to touch Kate Winslet's eye on a whim. Like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Or Kate Winslet and Jack Black being together.
I don't.
Um,
Yeah. Well, the
so-
girl that he's with at the beginning too, the one who's from A Knight's Tale, she's even less believable. Like,
Yeah,
she's
that's way out of her league. Or
Yeah.
out of his league.
It just, I mean, I would have liked to have seen more from her. Like, she's a gold digger too, and like, like something to really flesh out just why she's interested, because
She only goes to him in between modeling sessions.
Yeah, which is strange. Go ahead. I just saying, it's strange.
Well, so Rotten Tomatoes, the audience gives The Holiday 80%, and the critics give it 49%.
Okay.
So a drastic difference there.
Yeah, pretty big.
So, John, we got to figure out what we're scoring it. So, since this was your movie, you get to go first.
Overall, it's an okay rom-com. It's it's not as like we mentioned Warm Bodies, and even I kind of enjoyed 50 First Dates.
I think
even-
even 50
more.
Shades. I'm like, yeah, 50
Well, yeah,
Shades,
I mean
that's a rom com.
50, yeah, that's a rom-com now. So I mean, yeah, it's okay. I definitely, as we discussed extensively, can cut some stuff out and it be shorter and a possibly better film. I do like Jude Law in this very much. It just proves that he's a phenomenal actor. Cameron Diaz, she's Cameron Diaz and everything. She's the female Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting way.
That's a pretty
of
good
saying that.
Pretty good comparison.
Yeah.
And Jack Black and Kate Winslet, I would like to see that whole Jack Black, Kate Winslet, old man storyline in a separate film. I think that would be cool. I think Eddie has a good idea there. Again, it's okay. It's not something. If Justin goes to rewatchability, I probably wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
And it's not Christmassy enough for me to go, oh yeah, I have to watch this every Christmas, whether I want to or not.
Yeah,
type
I
thing.
agree with you. Yeah.
Like nobody really wants to watch Charlie Brown Christmas.
What?
But we watch Charlie Brown Christmas because we have to.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Don't want to watch it.
I watch it.
Well, I know I watch it too, but I
watch
don't,
it every year.
I don't really want to watch it. Same thing with the Grinch, the 1966 Grinch.
We know, Kyle. I'm patting your knee right now. We know.
I watch it, but it's like I could if I miss it, I'm not gonna gonna go all
ballistic.
Kate Winslet on it.
Kate Winslet
crying about it.
Crying about it,
and
all
I
that
see.
stuff.
I see.
Because I missed the Grinch 3 years now in a row.
It's streaming. I could watch it anytime.
Right. So
you guys.
I am going to give The Holiday a 5.5.
Okay, a 5.5 for Johnny Boy.
I like the nicknames we've come up. So Johnny Boy and
Johnny
the Priest.
Boy.
Like this is a movie I want to watch too. Johnny Boy and the Priest.
It's a buddy cop movie. Johnny Boy and the Priest.
I was thinking you were thinking about Schitt's Creek. When she was singing Johnny Boy or something like that.
I don't
Wasn't that
remember.
her song to fame or something? Johnny Boy.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's the hard way. You're
Anyway.
Michael J. Fox. He's James Woods. Like this. It's a bad movie all the way around. Go ahead.
I like the buddy cop movie. Yeah. The rewatchability thing that John said. Yeah, I don't think I would watch this again. Unlike Eddie said, unless I was trying to get laid, probably.
Want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
At least it's a key.
Will this work?
that
Watch
might-
Jude Law and then look at me.
Yeah. And then close your eyes.
Watch Jude Law and don't look at me.
Yeah.
Looks over, you got a Jude Law mask on.
Oh, that's creepy.
Ew. I was just thinking it would be like one of those pictures or something like that you see and then you close your eyes real quick and you still see that image.
Oh,
Oh my god! All I can imagine is Justin wearing a Jude Law mask now.
Oh, that is
and being
creepy.
Like,
No,
hey,
he would
you
just
wanna-
he would just be Napkin Man.
oh, oh,
I'm Napkin Man.
yeah.
That was great.
that
That
was cute.
That was
cute,
awesome.
that
yeah.
Klansman scene. That was.
It did kind of look.
It reminded
Klansman.
me of Chevy Chase in the Memoirs of an Invisible Man, like when he's wearing the
Right, yeah,
wearing
yeah.
the rags. God,
Anyway,
the bandages.
go ahead. Justin.
Where was I?
Rewatchability.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jude Law. In
Jude
your
Law is
face.
Using it as a key to get laid.
Yeah, I might have to go to the Halloween spirit store.
Jesus.
Oh man.
I don't really know much to say about it. I did laugh a couple times, especially the random cameo with
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman,
Yeah.
which has nothing to do with the movie, but that got the biggest laugh out of me.
Yeah.
I did like breaking the fourth wall with the movie trailers. I thought that was interestingly done. Done interestingly. I did like I did like the aspect of finding out that Jude Law had kids. I'm not a romance movie watcher, so this is not. I don't have a big library
Of romantic comedy.
romantic.
We just
Or
gotta
just
find
romance
you. We gotta
movies
find
in
you the
general.
right romance movies. That's all it is.
I
Like
guess.
I don't
love.
know if he didn't fall in love with Jude Law. I don't know.
He is dreamy.
Yeah.
You
You
just gotta
know,
look into his
the
eyes.
romance movies like Eddie's, like The Skin I Live In, Quills. Those are
that's
very
true.
romantic.
That's love right there.
Those
Yeah.
aren't- those
Skin
aren't
I Live In
romance.
is love.
Sure, they are. They have love making in it.
Skin I Live In. That's love is deep in that. That's
Love is only skin deep.
It wasn't
It
not until
cuts.
he
It
started
cuts deep.
using the
It cuts deep.
not until he started using the things.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, we're getting off track here.
Yeah.
We're off the rails. But
So
no,
it's a riot?
Oh my
Is
god.
that what's happening?
Waka waka.
no. What I was gonna say is, I don't, like I said, I don't have a massive romance movie history, viewing history. So it was new to me that they threw in this little thing with the kids. I don't know if that's like a trope or not. So I like that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. I did laugh at, the first kid comes out and, she's like, oh, you have a kid. And then the other kid comes out. In my mind, I was going, oh, wait, there's going to be like a third, fourth, fifth.
And these are all the girls that he's been talking to on the phone. you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That was nice. Yeah.
But I did like that. I did like more of the movie when I found out more he was like a single father and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting. So anyway, the music, like we were talking about, didn't wow me or anything like that.
Cinematography, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I mean, I liked all the natural transitions that they did. I thought those were cleverly done and all that. I'm gonna give it. I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
So Eddie.
Okay, so if we're talking the Cameron Diaz Jude Law romance comedy, just that, I'd give it a 6. Maybe even a 5, 6. I think I'm with you guys. The addition of the Kate Winslet, Jack Black, Arthur storyline, and the additional 45 to an hour extra that they added there with that makes it very hard for me to watch. It just is too damn long for a rom-com in particular. I like Jude Law. I like Cameron Diaz okay in the movie as far as actors go. I think they did fine. Jude Law did the best to me in the whole movie. I think he killed it. Kate Winslet, I would say, is probably number 2. But again, I don't really like that storyline. I just think it's very, I don't know. It feels disjointed, and that doesn't help. So for me, the movie is, as far as romantic comedies go, it's hard to stack it up against other romantic comedies that I enjoy more. Granted, some of those are shit movies, but I enjoy them more. Like Mannequin. Mannequin's an awful movie, right? It's Kim Cattrall playing a mannequin that comes to life.
Right.
And yet, I would rather watch Mannequin than watch this. That's not a good sign. So, for me, this is a 1.9, which,
Wow.
yeah, but does put it above other shit movies that we've watched, like Demolition Man and Hancock and stuff like that. So it is better than those movies, but not by much.
I'd watch Demolition Man.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I would watch Demolition Man.
It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. It's stupid as all fucking hell, but I'd watch it. This one, I don't think I'll ever go back to. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I don't see myself being like, "Hey, honey, do you want to watch the Holiday?" And us actually making it through that. Because the reason why I said that was for other reasons. That's why I'm like, "Hey, honey, watch Jude Law for a few minutes." Mm-hmm. There we go.
Watch that scene where he's in bed shirtless.
There we go. Yeah, he has a better body than me.
All right, so what did you say? A 1.9. 1.9 for Eddie. Okay, Kyle.
Okay, so with this one, my wife and I actually watch this. Try to watch it every year around Christmas because it is a Christmas movie. What was that?
Sorry, not really.
And the 3 that we also try to watch too is The Grinch, The Charlie Brown Christmas, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You know what's good about those? 90-minute run times or less.
Well, these are all 3 of those are like 30 minutes.
And again, we do watch those in my house, but if I miss it, it's like
Yeah, I'm with you, John.
We even have the vinyl of like the Charlie Brown Christmas too. It's epic vinyl. Anyway, old school here.
Don't get me wrong, I like it.
Yeah.
I like them, especially the Rudolph. Rudolph's awesome. I love the.
But as for the Holiday, the runtime is quite long for a rom-com, especially for a Christmas movie, just because with these 3 plots that are thrown in here, it is a little bit. It's one plot too much. Like with 2 hours and 16 minutes, I mean, this could easily be an hour and a half, like we said earlier. I was actually quite surprised that it won something for the score because I haven't actually looked up the actual soundtrack for this, but I would not be surprised if it's 2 songs at max. Just because they kept playing the same motif over and over and over again. Like they had no variety of the motif.
So you don't have this score on vinyl?
No.
Okay.
No, but I do like the song that does play. It's a very nice song. very well composed, but it's not my traditional like Gladiator Hans Zimmer.
Well, what's interesting too is a lot of the music you hear in this is from Ennio Morricone,
Yes.
the guy who did the Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Yeah.
And like when they first meet Kate Winslet, when Jack Black first meets him and he's in the car and the music's playing, they even mention about the song. That's Ennio. And
A really good score.
right, yeah.
Not Hans Zimmer. But I mean, I don't know. I actually kind of enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give this a 6.8.
Okay, so that means that The Holiday from 2006 comes out to be a 5.1.
A little above a Hallmark.
It's a little above a Hallmark movie. Yeah.
0.1 above a Hallmark movie.
But I do
Yes.
like that the ending though is it's a feel good ending.
Hallmark movies get like a 0.2 from me. Just
Well,
to say
yeah.
that, like there are no Hallmark movies that I can think of that I'm like, I really want to watch that movie. Like,
mean,
there's not one.
Well,
Talk
they're all
about
the-
formulaic.
Yeah, very.
That's my
formulaic.
point. Like, there's none of them. It's like literally visiting a Hallmark store and looking through Christmas, like through cards and stuff. Like that's the level of the writing in the Hallmark and production and cinematography and music. It's all like, where did you get this? Walmart. That's where we got it. Just like
At
you can in
the
cards.
$2 bin.
Yeah, it was in the Dollar Tree. Like that. I just can't imagine.
No, it's a $1.50 tree now or something. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's probably $10 tree.
Anyway, yeah, but saying that it's just a little above, I will say the Holiday is far above, like
Well,
a Hallmark.
My
movie,
God,
but-
if you're a typical Hallmark movie gets a 0.2 and this is a 1.9,
and I'm actually
this is a 10.
I'm doing that score cold. It could easily be a 0.02. I don't even know. Like I will get down into 2-digit numbers with some of these shit movies if we start going Hallmark
Make
style.
a mental note.
Yeah.
Just choose Hallmark movies next season.
Yeah, we
Got
may
it.
have to add an extra
If you can
decimal
find
place.
a film noir Hallmark movie.
Oh, that's easy.
Wow. Yeah,
That's easy to do.
0.01 right there. That's my 0.01.
Well, any
scale.
film noir movie with Eddie, it's
You can only go tense.
Well, what's funny about Hallmark films?
Yeah.
I'm looking up the number of films produced every year.
Oh God,
geez,
by
by
Hallmark.
Hallmark.
And it's usually in the 40s. It's
I was
like
gonna say.
35
well.
to 40.
I
You
thought
know
were
what?
gonna say
I think-
challenges the porn industry.
Except 2016.
Wonder why.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. They've made from 2008 to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So add 70, 18, 19, 20. So add another 120 around in there, 150, just around 150.
Yeah.
So, but from 2020, so from 2008 to 2017, 136 Christmas movies.
Jesus.
I think Netflix is getting close to that.
Yeah,
They're becoming this generation's Hallmark.
Okay, hold on though. Christmas Chronicles, even Christmas
that's
Chronicles
pretty
2
badass.
awesome. I like both
is
of those.
badass.
I didn't
Yeah.
say that this.
Solid Christmas movies.
I didn't say that the
Yeah.
Netflix movies were bad.
Yeah, Kurt
It's just
Russell.
the amount that they're pushing out.
Kurt Russell is easily my favorite Santa Claus.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Snake Plissken as Santa.
Snake
Yes.
Plissken as Santa
Yeah.
is easily my favorite. And if I was going to buy a Santa Claus outfit, I'd be buying his.
The
Like
leather,
the
the
leather,
red leather.
Yeah, that thing is sweet.
Fake
Yes.
news. But don't go ho ho ho.
See, that's a holiday movie. That is no question.
Well, I mean,
That's
Santa
a
Claus is
holiday
literally
movie.
in the film.
That's my
so-
point.
But we
There's no
had-
argument that it is.
But we had to pick a romance.
I get it.
for this one.
I get it. I just trying to be Christmassy because it comes out on Christmas
It's
Day.
part of the show.
Yeah, so
Could have been Scrooge, but whatever. Let's just keep going, I guess.
Romance?
Yeah, it's a romance. Bill Murray and Ugly Lady from Temple of Doom get together. Not Temple of Doom. Raiders
Yeah, but
gets
is it
together.
actually a romance?
What is her name? Karen something, isn't it?
Karen Allen.
Karen Allen,
Something
maybe?
like that?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I don't find her attractive at all.
Comedy, drama, fantasy. It's not a romance.
Wow, I am surprised because he spends 90% of the
Sorry.
movie.
That was the first three. Comedy, drama, fantasy, romance.
There
Yeah,
we
I
go.
was gonna look at that secondary one.
Because he spends
Yeah.
90% of the movie pining after her. The whole reason he has to go back is because of her. But
Gotcha.
okay. Yeah.
So, The Holiday from 2006 gets a average score of 5.1.
Yep.
So, that is almost the end of the season. We've done 16 genres, fellas.
Yeah.
Season 4 done.
That was quick.
It did feel quick, actually.
Not to me.
Oh.
There was Dune in there. There were some long ones.
There were some 16 weeks.
There were some long movies in there.
So if you are a Patreon member, first off, thank you. Second off, if you're not, screw you. No, I'm kidding.
No.
You should join.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
If you're wanting to give, a last minute Christmas gift or whatever, and you've made it to about an hour and 5 minutes, congratulations. We're like little Timmies.
We're now family,
Alms for the poll.
Yeah.
and you owe us.
But what I was going to say is, if you are in the Patreon member family, you had the option of choosing which movie we do for our season finale.
Yes.
And so the Patreons have spoken, and they chose Meet Joe Black.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of long
Meet Joe Black.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. 3 hours long?
Yeah, Meet Joe Black was chosen by
2
John.
hours and 54 minutes.
It's
3 hours.
2 hours 58 minutes. It's PG-13 and it's 1998.
2 minutes.
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew it was 58 minutes.
Thank you.
2 hours,
Thank you.
58 minutes. Damn.
Yeah.
Do you have a synopsis, John? You want to read real quick?
Brad
or-
Pitt is a robot.
Brad Pitt is not a robot.
He's only a robot when
A robot?
a robot.
A robot?
That's right.
I like the
Damn
robot.
robots.
Yeah, so the synopsis is Death, played by
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, that's his name. Takes a holiday in the form of a young man, asks a media mogul to act as a guide to teach him about life on Earth, and in the process he falls in love with his guide's daughter.
Yeah, and his guide is played by Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony
who
Hopkins,
does a
yes.
fantastic job,
Oh,
as
yes.
always. You know.
Yeah.
So so get back with us next Saturday. We will be doing our season finale of Meet Joe Black, and then we'll be taking a week off that we typically do, and then we'll see you back the following week.
Yes.
So oh, one last thing. We're actually going to try to do our first video podcast as well for our season finale. So, if you wonder what we look like, first,
Priest.
weird. I mean, the reason we have Patreon is because we don't have the bodies and faces for OnlyFans.
Jesus.
Wow.
So, I mean,
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, well, I am.
There's a fetish for everyone, Justin. You got a chance, buddy.
true.
You got a chance. They're like, where's my Friar Tuck fetish? Oh, there he is.
My OnlyFans is going to be Priestley 69.
Jesus.
Priestley.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So anyway, so
Elvis
definitely
Presley.
Elvis Presley. I like it. I like it. Yeah. So we're gonna be posting that. Starting with the season finale, it'll be on our YouTube channel. Just look up Screen Riot Podcast on YouTube. You can find us there. And yeah, so we'll see you next week, I guess.
See ya.
That's it.